Hello and welcome to Quick Tip 46, and a Gold Pass member very kindly sent a little program that he had created to help with the instantiation of text labels and vectors. And the purpose of this, I think the reason he wanted to do it, was his code was becoming rather long and rather difficult to read, because what he was doing was creating labels, and each time he was creating the label he was using all the code to create that label. So what he did is just created some relatively straightforward methods, and this little program demonstrates them here. So he kindly provided this to us, and I will make it free to Gold Pass members. And let me just explain what it does. Well, first of all, you can see what it's going to look like on the chart. We've just got three simple labels, and then we've got some data stored in three vectors. First of all, the method to create the labels. We've got two inputs. We've got an integer, and we've got a color for each label. And then what we're doing is we're creating the label. We're setting persist to true. We're setting a color based on this input here, and we're putting in a specific place on the chart. The horizontal varies depending on the X value. Then we're setting the text string to string interval. Now that is an input here, which I've just changed to T46, and then that returns the label. So to call that, let me just go to where we call it. We're going to be using a switch statement, and we're going to be just looking at the counter being 1, 2, and 3 in this case. And we call it by just saying create label, the number, the integer, which is going to be 1 to 3 in this case here, and then the color. And that will then create the label. And we do that 3 times, label 1, 2, and 3. And then for the vectors just got one input, which is going to be the integer. In fact, the same integer that we're using to create the label is going to return a vector. And what we do is we just create a temp vect, which is, you can see here, temp vect equals vector dot create. And then throw 1 to 3, we're going to put some values in that vector. I'm using the temp vect dot pushback. And then we're going to return this vector that we've just created. So for example, let's just look at where we call it. If the switch I counter is equal to 1, we go vect1 equals create vector, and then the value of the counter. So what that will do is create a vector using the value of 1 in this case, and it will put in the vector, the 3 values, which are going to be equal to 1 times 1, 1 times 2, and 1 times 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And then later on in the program, you'll see that we print those values. And if we just look at the result for that, you can see vector 1, we've got 1, 2, and 3. And then for the others, that will get be 2, 1 times 2, 2 times 2, 3 times 2, and then finally 3, and etc. So that is how the values in the vectors get decided. Another thing that he did here was, having created the label, he changed the string for the label. So for example, if we were to just comment this out and refresh that, we're going to see that the label is going to be the same for all 3. But what we're doing here is we're just going to uncomment that. You'll now see that that has been changed to new label. Anyway, hopefully this might be useful to you. And as I say, I will make that available to Gold Pass members. But I think you will agree that it does make the program a lot more tidy than actually creating the labels separately and the vectors separately each time. So thank you very much.